Okay, y'all, so I am here with another video. Okay, I'm here with Married at First Sight, season 1, episode 2. Now, normally, like I said, I put in my comments to somebody. I don't do episode 1 because it's like really, really boring. Before I go any further, I want to let it be known. I'm gonna put it in my title. I need y'all to work with me today. I'm gonna need y'all to work with me today. I am very, very intoxicated right now. I'm gonna just need y'all to work with me. Just a little bit, okay? I'm trying to get this video out for y'all, so I just want y'all to work with me. So if I stumble over my words, if I repeat myself, just we here, right? We here, okay? Like I'm on a new level. Okay. So so we start off with, so I'm gonna go couple by couple pretty much. That's normally how I do Married at First Sight. So we're gonna do Ryan and Claire first, okay? So at first when I see Ryan, I'm looking at Ryan, I'm like, you look like a very like nice, little light skinned young man, okay? And then we have Clara, who is, she's a decent looking white woman, okay? And so before they got married, Ryan pretty much wanted them to both wear like a blindfold, like his say husband and her say wife, so that they didn't see each other necessarily when she turned the corner, but once they actually got in front of each other. So I thought that was cute or whatever. So yeah, I got he cute, she cute. When she finally did get down there, and they took off each other's mask or whatever, they both seemed to, be pleased with one another. His vows was very, very nice. He pretty much talked about how, although he never met her, how through all of his ups and downs, that she's been there like in his heart, which I thought was cute. So after they go and they do the wedding and everything like that, I do like the little kind of back and forth that they had. It was a whole lot of like questions, which clearly that's what's going to happen when you marry somebody that you do not know. It's going to be a whole lot of questions. I appreciated the back and forth. One thing he did say is that he's never been in love before in his entire life, so he's a little bit, concerned about that. But like I said, they both asked really good questions. They both said that they want each other to call one another out when they are wrong, which I think is very helpful. um yeah, and he's a Gemini, and I think Claire said that her biggest fear is that she's gonna fall in love with him and she's not gonna love him back. And I think that kind of bothers him. I don't want to say bothers him, but like gives him pause for thought because he's never been in love before. So yeah. For their photo shoot, it seemed cool. Claire, she seems like she's like really outgoing. Like I like her willingness to be honest. And yeah, I like that about her. Let me see here. When it got to their reception, it was cute or whatever. They had their little first dance, that was nice. It gets to a point where you're just listening to they're both sitting at the little table and they're talking to each other, and at one point she's just kind of talking a lot. She's just talking a lot, and the confessionals and the confession, I mean, and the little tapes of him just kind of make it seem like he's just like, girl, like shut the fuck up, like shut up. um but then all of that makes sense because in the next scene you see with them, when it's time for everybody to give their toast, so her dad comes up and gives a toast. Claire dad does, and pretty much says that Clara is an extrovert times 10. Like she will make friends and talk to anyone. So I'm like, okay, well that makes sense why she talking so much now. So yeah, so that's pretty much them two. So that's Ryan and Claire, okay? I'm so proud I got through that, y'all. That wasn't as bad as I thought. So then we have Virginia and Eric, okay? So Eric, we found out, was married previous to this before. But he said to his, like, when he was talking to his friends about it, he was like, well, I mean, I was married, but it wasn't really like, it was, he pretty much married the girl so that she could, like, be where he was, like, for military purposes. So he could live where it is that, so that she could live where he lived. But he said he never even had a ring or anything like that. Um, Virginia seems like a very like high energy person. She seems okay for now. What I do have noted here is that it does seem like what both of them kind of said and listening to them, it seems like neither one of them really wanted to put in the work of actually finding someone. They just kind of wanted somebody to pop up and then they go from there, which I guess is a lot of people on Married at First Sight. But I just feel like if you're not gonna even, if you are too weary to put in the work to actually find somebody that's going to be compatible with you, then how are you going to, you know, have the willingness to put in the work with somebody that you're married to that you don't even know? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's just me though. So Virginia, you know, she likes sports a lot and she likes to, not that she likes to go out a whole lot, but she does likes to go to clubs here and there. And there was a point in time when Virginia goes to the bar, and when she goes to the bar, you see Eric just kind of looking at her like, and I'm like, why is he looking at her like that? But then you hear him say that his family is like extremely conservative, and I'm like, oh, that's why when she went over to the bar, it was kind of over like looking at her like, why are you drinking? Which is, girl, she grown. Like, yeah, calm down, she grown. And so you know, like I said, he talks about how conservative his family is, and you know, she talks about, you know, her sister and how her sister is gay, and how her sister and her partner have been together for like 15 or something like that years, and how they have like two sons, you know, that are artificially inseminated. And you could tell that Eric was taken back. You could tell that he was taken aback. Like, maybe it wasn't even for him personally. Maybe it was like, oh my gosh, I gotta explain this shit to like my family, because he said he personally doesn't have a problem. But I think probably him explaining that to his mom and to his dad's probably gonna be like a little shaky for him. But we shall see how that goes. Um, Yeah, and then like I also put here that like when one of her maid of honors came, her maid of honor came up and did a speech, and she was also alluding to some of the activities and the way that um Virginia acts when she's drunk. And so I feel like that's probably gonna be, I feel like that they put that in there to kind of show like how that's probably gonna be even more of a problem for the family, or whatever the case may be. So that's them. Then we have Paige and Chris. Paige is 26, Chris is 27. I don't know why I only got their names, but I'm 26 too, so I don't know if that gives you any context or anything. So, wait, what? Okay, yeah. So Paige and Chris. Okay, now these two people came at the very end. I don't know why I got them first, but they came at the very end of the show. Paige said that she was cultivated to be a wife and have children. And it was the way she said it. I said, okay, sis. I mean, if that's what you think, you're not the only person in the world that thinks that. But if that's what you believe, have at it, sis. Have at it. And so then she, let me see here. I see you. So Chris pretty much, he like makes a decent amount of money, and he pretty much says how, you know, he wants to find a woman who doesn't want him for the money, you know, it is that he has or anything like that. And it's like, oh, okay, that's why I have in my notes like, I see you, counselors, but because I didn't understand that. But no, in the sense of, I get it, because Paige really gives me like, I'm gonna try to love you regardless. And she even said that, she was like, I don't really care like what he has or what he doesn't have, like I'm gonna love him regardless. And I guess that's what he's looking for. So I guess that kind of makes sense. But then I also I see you, counselors, but no. So that's how I feel. Like, I see what y'all was trying to do, but no, absolutely not. So then Chris's grandpa and grandma comes, and his grandpa gives him some great advice and says, you know, you need to apologize. The main thing I can tell you is, when you're wrong, you need to apologize and never be scared to, like, don't let your ego or anything like that get in the way. And even when you're not wrong, still apologize. I said, yes, grandpa, you better tell him. And so then we go back over to Paige's room, and she gets this box and this letter from Chris, and it's this infinity, you know, necklace from Zales. And this is my whole thing about that. That's beautiful, but what's his name? Chris, you can't say that you want a woman to strictly love you for your heart, but you're leading with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't even meet this woman yet, and the first thing you're doing, out of everybody so far on the show, you're the only person that actually really bought her something. Yeah, what's the name? Gave her the little blindfold, but that's not really buying her anything. You bought her a necklace from Zales. That is you leading with your money off top. Now, if she wasn't the type of woman that she was, she probably would be thinking, oh, this nigga must have money. Like, he must have money. So my thing is, you say you want a woman who doesn't want you for your money, but is that what you're, like, leading with? You know what I mean? Like, is that the image that you're portraying, or are you portraying to women that I can buy you this and I can buy you that? Because then that plays into the way that women are going to treat you and approach you and all of that other stuff. So, yeah, I just found that interesting. But yeah, but towards the end, the end of the episode is pretty much them two, like, about to get married, and Paige is just very serious. She thinks that God has brought them two together. Girl, we shall see. I don't play those games with God, so, but we shall see. Where am I at the time? Oh, I'm doing good time. Okay. So then we have Brianna and Vincent, which so far are like my favorites as far as like vibing off of each other and stuff. So Brianna is 28. She's a beautiful black woman. Then we have Vincent, who is a Dominican man. Okay. She's an engineer, which means my good sis has money. Okay, she has not money, money. Okay. And she's sitting there getting ready. I'm like, yes, someone shouty, like, y'all, give me a week and a half. I'm about to be someone shouty. Someone shouty, okay? And so then, we go over and we see Vincent, we see him and his friends. Him and his friends, they're all like, decent looking men. So yeah, that's that on that. He talks about how he didn't really have his parents around, that he didn't really see a good, idea of what marriage to be. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to have all of his kids by the same woman. He's just trying to have a wife and have a nice family. So he said that one of his main things is that he needs someone who's going to support his dream, because he's a business owner. He said that one of the reasons that his last relationship didn't work out is because the girl didn't want to support him in his dreams. Now, this is how I feel about that. I have no problem supporting your dreams, as long as you're attempting to do something and you're bringing in something. Because at this point in time, like, at the age you're at, I think what she said, Brianna's 28, meaning there's nothing wrong with still going after your dreams, because at the age of 28, you're definitely still going after your dreams for sure. But if we're all living in this house together, you got to be contributing somehow. That would be where my problem lies in. But I don't have no problem supporting your dreams and what it is that you want to do, which we'll talk about in a minute about what he wants to do. So, Brianna talks about pretty much how, when she's talking to her mom, getting ready to say how, like, she's a little nervous because she's never lived with a man before. I'm going to ask y'all get in the comments, what do y'all think about living with a significant other before you get married? Do you think that it's a good idea, or do you not think it's a good idea? Me, personally, this is just me. I personally feel like you don't really know somebody until you live with them. I can understand, I can appreciate people feeling like, well, once you get married, you kind of don't have no choice but to deal with it. But it's like, if I would have knew that ahead of time, I probably wouldn't have maybe went into this marriage, or even if I did, I probably would have had different thoughts or reservations. So that's just my opinion. But y'all get in the comments. Let me just try to think about that. Let's see. So I have here. So when Vincent ends up walking down the aisle, it was funny because you can see the friends' faces, like all the Brianna's friends, their faces is like, oh yes, yes ma'am, yes, he's fine. Okay, I agree. And so, she talks about how physical attraction is like a really big thing for her, and so she's a little bit worried about that, like all of them are. She ends up coming out, one of the main things that I'm going to point out is that when the preacher was reading off like what her family said about her, is that she's bossy. I know it was tongue-in-cheek at the time, but I hope that's not really the case in this relationship, because that's not going to end well to me. But I think out of everybody so far, I like her dressed the most. That's what I put here. I like her dressed the most. So then we find out, like I said, I did say he was Dominican, but I didn't realize that until they both had, was talking to each other when it was just them two alone. And I put, woo, child, I wonder if his people were mad. Now, I didn't seem like any of the people at his wedding had a problem with it. But no shade, y'all know, especially with y'all know we got the whole Danny Lee situation going on. I'm just saying, like, y'all know, like, a lot of Dominican people don't like to be called black, right? And not all of them, But you know, some of them feel like they're not black, and some of them don't like, you know, us. They don't like us. Like they really don't like us. So I'm really interested in how the rest of his family really feels about him marrying like a legit black woman, like a black woman, like not no light skinned thing, like a chocolate woman. I'm very interested in that. Vincent talks about pretty much in his confessional how I don't know if he said it to her, but he pretty much said how he's afraid, you know, that he won't be liked by her, and that's all. I'm so bad. I mean, I feel so bad. And then as far as his business and stuff, like I said, we was gonna touch on earlier, he pretty much is like a Carvana. That's pretty much what he is. He is a mobile Carvana. He is like an independent Carvana, meaning he goes, you know, he asks you what kind of car you want, goes to the dealership, you know, gets the best deal possible, and then comes back to you with the car and everything. So he's literally like an independent Carvana. So, you know, I mean, I think that's cute enough. And Brianna said that she found that to be cute. I mean, as long as you make money, baby doll, I don't care. I'm gonna just try to help you take it to the next level. But I don't care. But y'all get in the comments and y'all tell me what y'all think. I'll be back. I'm gonna do like a quick review on the Ashanti and Keyshia Cole situation. You know, so I'll be back.